Let's talk some Miami recruiting. The Canes, they won 38-10 over Syracuse on Saturday. Plenty of recruits enjoyed that experience, and there's even some flip targets now trending in Miami's direction, potentially two of them. We're going to break it all down in this video, but before we do that, Miami fans, this is the time of year where you're going to want to be subscribed to the Rivals Recruits channel. All right, let's get on with it and bring in national analyst Marcus Benjamin. You were at the game yesterday, and we already have some new predictions rolling in. Steve Wiltfong put one in for Miami to flip Penn State defensive line commitment Isaac Chukwura. He's a 6'2", 255 D lineman from Delaware. How do you feel about that? Have you put in your prediction yet?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and join Steve on that prediction. I really feel confident with where Miami stands with the Penn State commit. He was at the game yesterday, seemed to definitely enjoy himself. And from what I hear from inside the program, Miami feels really, really confident about flipping him from Penn State to Miami. The prowess of the Miami defensive line coaches of Jason Taylor and Damian Lewis is something that Chikora definitely likes. I think it's all but kind of a matter of time until we see him decommit and then flip, or it could maybe just all happen all at once. But I definitely like where the Hurricanes stand with the Nittany Lion commit.
All right, trending for one defensive lineman. He wasn't the only flip target on that defensive line on campus. Pitt defensive lineman Logan Nagel was also at the game. You had a chance to speak with him afterward. What was he saying about the Canes?
It was kind of along the same lines. He really likes the defensive line coaches of Jason Taylor and Damian Lewis. It seems like this is just a two-horse race right now with Pitt and Miami. He's
Mm-hmm.
still currently on a visit at the University of Miami, getting a tour of the campus, and I'm sure the Hurricanes are doing everything that they can to flip his commitment from Pitt to Miami. From what I understand, there were some other Big Ten teams involved in his recruitment, also trying to flip him, but Miami is definitely in a great position. He liked what he saw from the Hurricanes on Saturday night as far as the defensive line play. The defense overall got 7 sacks against Syracuse, so that's nice to see if you're a defensive line recruit. And I think Miami's in a really great position. They were targeting the defensive line
Mm-hmm.
position for a while for these last couple of months, and I think they are going to upgrade that position for the 2026 class by the end of the week, if not sooner.
Yeah, they got a couple irons on the fire. Some other flip targets not on campus this weekend, but guys that were on campus included number one running back in the 2027 class, Kamon Spell. He got to see a dominating performance by the Canes. It was his first visit ever to Miami. So you wrote a great article up on the front page of rivals.com right now. You spoke to a lot of these recruits. What were they generally saying about the Canes' dominant performance on Saturday night at home?
Well, most of the recruits agreed that the Hurricanes started off slow. This is very
Mm-hmm.
similar to the game against Stanford. It was almost like kind of a mirror image of the two games. Miami didn't score until 2 minutes left in the first half. So that's something that most of the recruits did notice, but they did also notice that the Hurricanes kind of took over and imposed their will in the second half. A lot of these recruits still believe in the Miami Hurricanes, in the program, in what Mario Cristobal is building down here in South Florida. And they still feel like this is a program on the rise, and they feel like this program can still make the playoffs, still possibly make the ACC championship game. They liked what they saw from the coaches in action, and they liked the fact that they saw freshmen play. We all know about Malachi Tony, who is already one of the top players in college football, in my opinion. And they got to see Gerard Pringle, who led the team in rushing yards against Syracuse last night, also scored a touchdown. So these recruits like to see these freshmen already getting in action in their first year as college players. that's something any recruit would want to see. So that's something
Yeah.
that they enjoyed watching at Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, they've done a great job with that. So let's wrap it up. Wide receiver Calvin Russell committed to Syracuse, was at this game. He showed up. Was he wearing Miami gear? Was he wearing Syracuse gear? What do you think he thought of watching the team he's committed to lose to the Canes like this?
So Calvin Russell, I think, is still pretty much kind of locked in with Syracuse. He just came from an official visit up there in upstate New York. I think more so he was there to, of course, watch Syracuse, his future team, in action. As far as what he was wearing, he was there in support of his friend Malachi Tony. So it was kind of like one of those shirts
Oh,
where
he
they
had the
kind
Tony
of
shirt on again?
yeah, had a Tony shirt on with a couple of his teammates had the same Tony shirt on. So he's there representing for his guy, Malachi Tony, and is just wishing him the most success.
That's
But from what
awesome.
I hear from inside the program
Mm-hmm.
over there at Syracuse, that he's fully locked in with the orange. And I actually had a chance to meet Fran Brown last night, and I get it, I kind of get why these kids are so kind of captivated by him. He really does have an infectious personality,
Mm-hmm.
and I could, if I had a son, then I would probably consider, sending him to Syracuse because I feel like this guy is down to earth, and I feel like he would protect my son. So I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
there's definitely something
Okay.
about Farron Brown's personality. They're not showing it on the field right now, but
Yeah.
it's definitely something that is drawing these recruits in. And if it wasn't for Fran Brown and his personality and just the way that he connects with the kids, these kids I don't think wouldn't be so locked into Syracuse considering the season that they're having and
Mm-hmm.
that they're not going to make a bowl game this year. It's just the way that he connects with you as a person. I think that's what these kids definitely like, and that's why I feel Calvin Russell is probably going to stay with the Orange.
Wow. All right. Well, Miami not done yet. They're going to make a couple more additions to this 2026 class. We talked about 2 trending defensive linemen, but that's not it. You guys, talk to us in the comments section below. Who is your favorite flip target down the stretch for the Canes? They're going to flip some guys, so let us know who you think it's going to be. Comment section below.